No one lives when both engines die over deep ocean. No one. Then a small voice came on the radio. I can help. Fighter planes flew fast to see who spoke. They found a 12-year-old girl who talks to underwater robots using sounds. Before you watch full story, comment below from which country are you watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stories. Maya Reyes sat alone in the back of the Coast Guard airplane. She was wrapped in an orange survival blanket, the kind they give people pulled from the ocean. Her clothes were still damp with salt water. Her black hair was tangled and messy. She was 12 years old, and she hadn't said a word in 18 hours. The Coast Guard crew thought she was in shock. They pulled her from a life raft yesterday morning. Her parents were dead. Their yacht had sunk in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. The girl was traumatized. Of course, she couldn't speak, but Maya could hear everything. The cargo bay had an intercom. The pilots didn't know it was turned on. Maya could hear every word they said in the cockpit. Poor kid, the pilot said. Her name was Lieutenant Commander Sarah Vance. 11 hours alone on that life raft, can you imagine? The co-pilot was Lieutenant Marcus Chen. What actually sank the yacht, the report said Storm, but the weather data doesn't match. Investigation team pulled sonar recordings from a nearby ship. The yacht didn't capsize. It went straight down, like something pulled it underwater. Pulled it? What could do that? I don't know. The sonar recording showed something weird. Really weird. They sent it to Navy Research, and they classified it immediately. Won't tell us what they found. Maya's hands gripped the blanket tighter. She knew what pulled the yacht down. She had recorded it on her parents' equipment. She knew exactly what it was, and she knew it was still down there, hunting. Maya wasn't a normal 12-year-old. Her parents were marine biologists. Dr. Elena Reyes studied whales. Dr. David Reyes was an acoustic engineer. He studied how sound travels through water. They lived on a research yacht called the Poseidon's Echo. They traveled across the Pacific Ocean, recording whale songs and ocean sounds. Maya was actually born on that yacht. Her mother went into labor 400 miles from land. There was no hospital, no doctor, just her father and the ocean. The first sound Maya ever heard wasn't a human voice. It was whale song coming through underwater microphones, filling the yacht's cabin with deep, beautiful music. Maya grew up learning the language of the ocean. By age 4, she could identify different whale species just by hearing their calls. By age 7, she could tell the difference between natural ocean sounds and man-made sounds like ships and submarines. By age 9, she was better at operating acoustic equipment than most professional scientists. Her parents called her Shark because she could track things through sound alone. Like a shark sensing electricity in the water, Maya could sense acoustic patterns that nobody else could hear. But Maya had a secret. For 2 years, she'd been tracking military submarines. Not on purpose at first. She was just recording ocean sounds like always. And she kept hearing patterns, specific sounds moving through the Pacific at depths and speeds that didn't match whales or fish. Submarines, Russian ones, Chinese ones, American ones. She started documenting them, creating maps showing where submarines were, based purely on the sounds they made. Then she made a big mistake. She posted her tracking data online, anonymously, on a website where submarine enthusiasts shared information. She used the username Shark. She thought it was harmless, just sharing cool data. What Maya didn't know. The U.S. Navy monitors those websites looking for security leaks. When they saw submarine position data appearing from someone called Shark, data that was more accurate than their own billion-dollar tracking systems, they assumed it was a spy. Maybe Russian, maybe Chinese. They tried to trace her. They failed. Her internet security was too good. Her father had taught her how to hide online. For 2 years, Navy intelligence has been hunting for Shark. And Shark has been a 12-year-old girl doing homework between acoustic monitoring sessions, completely unaware she's on a classified watch list. 3 days ago, everything changed. Maya and her parents were near Guam, tracking a group of sperm whales. Standard research work. Deploy underwater microphones, record whale calls, analyze the data. Maya was wearing headphones, watching the computer screens that showed ocean sounds as colorful patterns. The whales were clicking, making echolocation sounds to hunt squid in the deep water. Then the whales went silent, all of them. At the same time, Maya's father noticed immediately. That's strange. They were hunting. Why would they all stop? Maya rewound the recording, listening carefully. Right before the whales went silent, there was something else. A faint sound. Deep. A low pulse that didn't match any animal. She ran it through analysis software. The computer said, artificial, mechanical, unknown signature. Dad, listen to this. Her father put on headphones. His face changed. That's not a ship, not a submarine. The pattern is wrong. It's like electromagnetic propulsion, but I've never seen anything that uses this signature. Maya checked the tracking data. It's moving at 60 knots, at 4,000 meters deep. Her parents looked at each other with worried faces. No submarine could do that. The fastest military submarines could only do 40 knots, and only for short distances. And none could go that deep. Most submarines crush at 800 meters depth. Her father's voice was serious. We need to record this. They documented everything, the sound signature, the speed, the depth. Then the thing changed course. Maya watched the display screen, fear growing in her chest as the unknown contact turned directly toward their yacht. Rising, 4,000 meters deep, 3,000 meters, 2,000 meters. Her father grabbed the radio. Mayday, mayday, mayday. This is research yacht Poseidon's Echo. We have an unknown underwater contact approaching at high speed, rising from deep water. Request immediate assistance. A Coast Guard voice answered. Poseidon's Echo, can you describe the contact? We can't see it. Only on sonar. It's rising from. The yacht jerked violently. Not hitting it. Gripping it. Metal groaned. The deck tilted. Maya's mother shouted. We're being pulled down. Water poured through cracks in the hull. Electronics sparked and died. The yacht tilted more, stern sinking, bow rising into the air. Maya's father grabbed her physically, dragged her toward the deck. Get to the life raft, now! Dad, go! Her mother was already there, pulling the emergency raft's deployment handle. The container exploded open. The raft inflated automatically. The yacht was almost vertical now, stern underwater, bow pointing at the sky. Her mother pushed her toward the raft. Jump! We're right behind you. Maya jumped. She landed in the raft. It bounced on the water. She looked back. Her parents were still on the yacht. Her mother was trying to reach the raft. Her father was holding her back, saying something Maya couldn't hear over the sound of tearing metal and rushing water. Then they were gone. The yacht's bow tilted, slipped beneath the surface. The ocean swallowed it whole. Maya screamed, Mom, Dad! No answer. She grabbed the emergency radio from the raft's kit. Mom, Dad! Static, but one piece of equipment was still transmitting. The underwater microphone array. It was battery-powered. Still recording even though the yacht was sinking. Maya switched the radio to the hydrophone frequency, and she heard it. The sound of the yacht sinking, metal crushing, air pockets collapsing, and underneath that sound, the pulse. That mechanical rhythm. But now there was something else. A pattern, repeating, structured. Not random machine noise, it was communication. The thing, whatever it was trying to communicate with the yacht, and when the yacht didn't answer back, it pulled them down to investigate. Maya recorded everything. 17 minutes of audio. The yacht sinking. Her parents drowning, the thing circling the wreckage. Then silence. The thing descended. Back to the deep water. Maya was alone on a life raft with a dying radio battery, a recording of her parents' death, and the absolute knowledge that whatever killed them was still down there, hunting. She didn't cry at first, couldn't. The shock was too deep. She just sat in the raft, staring at the spot where the yacht had disappeared. The ocean was calm. Gentle swells, beautiful, like nothing had happened. But something had happened. Her entire world had just ended. Maya looked at the emergency kit. Orange plastic box, waterproof. Inside, flares, water purification tablets, emergency rations, first aid supplies, and a handheld radio with maybe 6 hours of battery life left. She should signal for help, fire a flare, call on the radio. Instead, she pulled out her phone, waterproof case, like everything on the yacht, still working. She opened her voice memo app and started recording. This is Maya Reyes. Today is, I don't know what day it is. My parents are dead. Something pulled our yacht underwater. I recorded it. The acoustic signature is unlike anything in our database. I'm uploading the data to maritime forums before my battery dies. If anyone finds this, please tell the Navy. Tell them something is down there. Something they don't know about. Something dangerous. She attached the acoustic recordings to posts on 3 different maritime forums. Hit send. Then she waited. The sun was setting. The first stars were appearing. Maya had grown up under these stars. Her father taught her celestial navigation when she was 6. Stars never fail you, he'd said. Satellites can go down, GPS can malfunction, but the stars are always there. She found Polaris, the North Star, used it to confirm the raft's drift direction. Northeast, good. Toward shipping lanes. If she was lucky, a ship would find her in a day or 2. If she was unlucky, Maya didn't let herself finish that thought. She pulled the survival blanket tighter and watched the stars, listening to the ocean, waiting for rescue, and trying very hard not to think about her parents drowning in the dark. Present time, Coast Guard, C. 130, 12,000 feet altitude, 900 miles from land. The aircraft was flying smoothly, too smoothly, the kind of smooth that comes right before everything goes wrong. Maya had learned to trust her instincts. Living on a yacht your entire life teaches you that. The ocean gives warnings before it kills you. Subtle changes in wave patterns, shifts in wind direction, the way birds fly differently before a storm. Right now, Maya felt that same warning in her gut. She pressed her ear against the cargo bay wall, listening to the engine vibrations through the metal. Port outer engine was running at 1,200 revolutions per minute. Port inner at 1,022. Starboard outer at 1,018, starboard inner at 1,019. All normal, but something felt wrong. Then she heard it. A subtle electrical hum that shouldn't be there. High frequency. Pulsing. Coming from outside the aircraft. Her eyes went wide. She knew that frequency. Maya was listening to Lieutenant Chen run through post-takeoff checklists when his voice changed. Engine 1 just surged. Vance asked. Throttle position? RPM just spiked and dropped. Oil pressure is fluctuating. Maya sat up straight. Something was wrong. She moved quickly to the small cargo bay window and looked down. The ocean below was a dark blue expanse. Empty. No ships. No land. Nothing for 900 miles in any direction. But something was down there. Something looking up. Vance said, "Switch to backup fuel pump." Already on backup. It's not helping. Wait, engine 2 just did the same thing. Maya stood up and moved toward the cargo bay door. In the cockpit, alarm sounds started. Chen's voice got tight. Engine 1 power dropping. 50%, 40%. We're losing power. Vance said, "Run emergency diagnostics." Running. Both engines showing, "Oh no, engine 1 flame out. Restart procedure. Engine 2 flame out. We just lost both engines." The cargo bay went quiet. No more engine noise, just wind. Vance's voice stayed incredibly calm. "Mayday, mayday, mayday. Coast Guard 2004, dual engine failure. 900 miles east of Honolulu, 12,000 feet. Gliding. 6 souls on board." Chen asked, "Glide ratio?" "See? 130 glides at about 12 to 1. We have maybe 20 minutes before we hit water." "Nearest airport?" "There is no airport, Marcus. We're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Nearest land is 900 miles away. Nearest ship is probably 200 miles, and we can't glide that far." Maya's hand moved to the intercom button. She knew why the engines failed. She knew what was beneath them. And she knew that if she didn't do something in the next 15 minutes, everyone on this airplane would die the same way her parents died. She pressed the button. Her voice, small and quiet, but absolutely certain, went to the cockpit speakers. "This is Shark. I can help. Silence. Then Vance said, "Did that just—" The cargo bay door opened. Maya stood there, 12 years old, 4 feet 9 inches tall, still wrapped in the orange survival blanket. Chen stared. "Kid, you need to sit down and buckle in." "You're not having engine failure," Maya interrupted. "You're being jammed. Electromagnetic interference from an autonomous underwater vehicle directly beneath your flight path." "Acerez." Vance's hand stayed on the controls, but her eyes looked at Maya. "What?" "Something disrupted the electrical ignition systems. Same electromagnetic signature that killed my parents' yacht 3 days ago." Chen said, "That's impossible. We're at 12,000 feet. How could something underwater?" "Autonomous underwater vehicle. Experimental AI-controlled platform. And it's malfunctioning." The altitude gauge read 11,000 feet. Descending. Vance's voice cracked slightly. "How do you know this?" "Because I'm Shark." Vance's face went white. Chen looked confused. "Shark?" "Like the person intelligence has been trying to find for 2 years. The one posting submarine tracking data." "Yes, that's me. I've been tracking submarines using sound for 2 years. And 3 days ago, I tracked this thing when it killed my parents." Vance pressed the radio button. "Honolulu Center, Coast Guard 2004, we have." "Static. Dead air." Maya said, "Your radios are jammed too." "That AUV sends out electromagnetic pulses to disable surface ships so it can investigate them. It thinks it's doing reconnaissance. Its AI doesn't understand that pulling ships underwater kills people." Chen said, "This is crazy." "You have 15 minutes of glide time left," Maya said. "I can stop it, but I need your acoustic equipment. Do you have emergency sonobuoys?" "We have them for search and rescue." "Perfect. I can use those to send acoustic signals the AUV will understand. If I can convince it we're friendly, it'll stop jamming." Chen said, "You're saying you can talk to it?" "Sound patterns. The AUV was designed to copy whale sounds to hide from detection. I can copy those sounds back." 9,000 feet. The wind noise was getting louder. The C-130 was just a glider now. Vance made a decision. "Do it." Maya ran to the sonobuoy launcher in the cargo bay floor. She'd seen these before. Her parents used similar equipment for research. She pulled 4 buoys from storage. Each one was a cylinder about 3 feet long. You drop them from aircraft into water. Once underwater, they send out sound signals. "What frequency do these use?" Maya asked. Chen leaned out of the cockpit. "Standard search and rescue frequency, 37.5 kilohertz. I need to change them. Do you have tools?" "What kind of tools?" "Anything," Vance yelled back. "Emergency kit under the bench. Red box." Maya grabbed it. Inside were basic hand tools. She opened the first buoy casing. Her hands moved fast. This was what her parents taught her: how to build sound transmitters, how to change frequencies, how to make the ocean speak. 8,000 feet altitude. She adjusted the buoy's internal parts, changing the frequency to match the signature she'd recorded when the AUV killed her parents. Pulsed. Rhythmic. A specific pattern. "What are you doing?" Chen asked. "Sending a signal. Getting its attention." She moved to the drop door, opening cargo hatch. A small door opened in the floor. Wind screamed through. Maya dropped the first buoy. It fell through 8,000 feet of air, hit the water, sank. She watched the C-130's magnetic detector, a sensor that finds submarines. There, a massive signal. Directly beneath them, 1,200 meters deep, the AUV. And it was rising. Vance saw it too. "Jesus Christ, that thing is real." "What did you just do?" Chen asked. "I got its attention," Maya said. "Now I need to tell it to stop jamming us." This time, a different pattern. A greeting sequence based on humpback whale calls. The AUV's AI was trained on whale sounds. If Maya could make it think there was a whale pod nearby, it might switch from investigation mode to passive listening. 7,500 feet altitude. She dropped the second buoy. The magnetic detector showed the AUV changing course, moving sideways, away from the aircraft. Chen said, "It's working. Whatever you're doing is working." Maya said, "Not yet. I need it to release the electromagnetic interference." One more signal. Third buoy. She set it to send a distress pattern, the sound of an injured whale. High-frequency clicks mixed with low-frequency moans. The AUV was programmed to investigate biological things. If it thought there was a hurt whale, it would change priorities. 7,000 feet. She dropped the third buoy. The detector showed the AUV diving, chasing the fake whale signal, and the cockpit lights flickered, then came back on. Chen shouted, "Electrical systems coming back." Vance said, "Attempting engine restart. Engine 1. Ignition. Engine 2. Ignition." The C-130 stopped gliding, started climbing. 6,500 feet. 7,000 feet. 8,000 feet. Chen was laughing with relief. "We're flying. How did you—" Her hands were shaking. She wrapped the survival blanket tighter around herself. Vance pressed the radio button. "Honolulu Center, Coast Guard 2004. We have recovered from dual engine failure. Both engines restarted. Climbing back to 10,000 feet. Request priority clearance and emergency services on landing." The radio crackled. "Coast Guard 2004 Honolulu Center. Say again?" "You reported dual engine failure. We glided down to 6,500 before successful restart. We'll file a full report when we land." "Understood, Coast Guard 2004. Declaring emergency. Cleared direct to Hickam Air Base. Emergency services standing by." Vance turned in her seat and looked back at Maya through the open cockpit door. "Who are you?" Maya didn't answer. She was staring at the fourth sono buoy, the one she didn't drop, because she knew the AUV wasn't gone, just distracted. And when it realized the wounded whale was fake, it would come back. What Maya didn't know was this. When the C-130 went silent for 8 minutes, Honolulu Air Traffic Control declared an emergency. What wasn't normal, when the Mayday call mentioned shark, someone at Pacific Fleet Intelligence noticed. Commander Jessica Park was monitoring communications when the call came through. She ran the name through investigation databases. 2 years of submarine tracking data. Posted anonymously, source unknown, assumed to be a foreign spy. And now Shark was on a Coast Guard plane that just survived an impossible dual-engine failure. Commander Park picked up a phone. "Get me Pacific Fleet Operations." 30 seconds later, talking to the Admiral, "Sir, we have a situation. 4 F-22 Raptor fighter jets launched from Pearl Harbor Air Base. Call sign, Predator Flight. Mission, intercept Coast Guard 2004 and identify Shark." Flight lead was Major Sarah Kwan, combat veteran, 2,000 hours flying F-22s. She'd escorted defectors, intercepted Russian bombers, shadowed Chinese spy planes. She'd never been sent to intercept a Coast Guard aircraft. "Predator Flight, you are cleared supersonic. Intercept Coast Guard 2004, current position 600 miles east. They have someone on board using call sign Shark. You are to escort them to Hickam and prevent any communication with outside parties." Kwan asked, "Confirm orders? We're intercepting a Coast Guard plane." "Affirmative. This comes from Pacific Fleet Intelligence. Shark is a high-priority intelligence asset. Ensure no other aircraft make contact." Kwan didn't ask more questions. She pushed the throttles forward. 4 F-22s went supersonic. Maya was back in the cargo bay when she heard different jet engines. Not the C-130's propellers. Something else. High-pitched, powerful. The sound of afterburners. She moved to the small window. 4 F-22 Raptors. 2 on each side. Flying in perfect formation with the C-130. They were close, maybe 100 feet away. She could see the pilots in their cockpits, helmets, and oxygen masks, making them look like aliens. One of the pilots saw her looking, gave a small wave. Maya didn't wave back. Vance's voice came over the intercom. "Maya, come to the cockpit now." Maya walked forward, still wrapped in her blanket. The flight engineer made room for her in the cramped cockpit space. Vance pointed out the window at the fighters. "They're here for you." The radio crackled. "Military frequency. different from the civilian channels. Coast Guard 2004. This is Predator Lead. We're escorting you to Hickam. We need to speak with the person using call sign Shark. Please confirm Shark is on your aircraft. Vance looked at Maya, eyebrows raised. That you? Maya nodded slowly. Vance pressed the radio button. Predator Lead. Yes. Shark is on board. Pause. Maya could hear background noise from the fighter. Engine sounds. Warning tones. Someone else talking in the background. Then the fighter pilot's voice came back, more urgent now. Coast Guard, can you confirm Shark's identity? Age? Gender? Any identifying information? This is a national security matter. Chen whispered to Vance. Should we tell them? Maya could see the calculation happening behind the pilot's eyes. She was deciding whether to protect a 12-year-old girl or follow military protocol. Maya made the decision for her. She reached over and pressed the radio button herself. Predator Lead. This is Shark. I'm 12 years old. I've been tracking your submarines for 2 years using acoustic analysis. I didn't know it was classified. I'm sorry. Silence on the radio. Complete silence. Then, Coast Guard 2004, say again. Did that transmission say 12 years old? Vance took over the radio. Predator Lead, affirmative. Shark is Maya Reyes, age 12, civilian. She's the only survivor of the yacht sinking 3 days ago near Guam. And she just saved this aircraft by communicating acoustically with an autonomous underwater vehicle that was jamming our engines. I don't know what's happening here, but this kid just prevented 7 deaths, including mine. Another long pause. Maya imagined the F-22 pilots looking at each other across the sky, trying to process this information. The fighter lead's voice came back, and it sounded different now. Less official. More human. Understood, Coast Guard. We'll escort you safely to Hickam. And Shark, Maya, the Navy's been looking for you for 2 years. We thought you were a foreign intelligence operative. Turns out, you're just a kid who's really, really good at hearing things. We have a lot to talk about when we land. Maya looked out at the sleek fighter jet flying beside them. She could see the pilot more clearly now. He, or she couldn't tell with the helmet, gave her a thumbs up. This time, Maya waved back. Predator Lead, Vance said. Be advised, Maya says the AUV that jammed us is still active down there. It might come back. Copy that. We're patching this through to Pacific Fleet Command. They're going to want to hear everything. Chen looked at Maya with newfound respect. You really tracked submarines at age 12? Maya shrugged. It's just sound patterns. Once you know what to listen for, it's not that hard. The Navy's been trying to find you for 2 years. I used good internet security. My dad taught me. Vance laughed, a short, stressed sound. Kid, I don't know whether to be impressed or terrified of you. Both is good, Maya said quietly. When the C-130 landed at Hickam Air Base, there were people waiting. Not just maintenance crews, not just fire trucks, 30 vehicles, black SUVs, military police Humvees, unmarked sedans with government plates. Maya could see them through the cockpit window as they taxied to the parking area. A crowd of at least 50 people standing on the tarmac in the Hawaiian sun. What is this? Chen asked quietly. Vance's jaw was tight. This is what happens when a 12-year-old civilian turns out to be the intelligence asset the entire Pacific Fleet has been hunting for 2 years. The C-130 stopped. Engines spooled down. The propellers slowed to a stop. Maya stood up, still wrapped in her survival blanket. She felt very small suddenly, very young. Maya, Vance said gently, whatever happens out there, you didn't do anything wrong. You understand? You saved lives today. Our lives. You're a hero. Maya didn't feel like a hero. She felt like a kid who'd accidentally stumbled into something way too big for her. The cargo ramp lowered. Bright sunlight flooded in. And standing in front of the crowd, waiting at the bottom of the ramp, was a woman in a Navy uniform covered in ribbons and medals, 3 stars on her collar. Vice Admiral Patricia Morgan, Commander Pacific Fleet. Maya had seen her picture in Navy publications her parents subscribed to. one of the most powerful military officers in the Pacific region, responsible for every naval operation from the West Coast to Japan. And she was here. For Maya, Maya walked down the ramp slowly. Each step felt too heavy. The survival blanket dragged behind her like a cape. Admiral Morgan approached. She was tall, maybe 6 feet, and everything about her radiated authority and competence. But when she looked at Maya, her expression softened. Maya Reyes. Call sign Shark. Her throat felt tight. You've been sending us submarine tracking data for 2 years. Data we couldn't verify because we didn't know who was sending it. Data that was more accurate than our billion-dollar sensor systems. Maya whispered, I was just tracking sounds. You identified an experimental AUV that went dark 6 months ago. A program so secret that even I didn't know about it until today. You saved that aircraft by communicating with it using sound. And you did all of this at age 12. Behind the Admiral, Maya could see people with cameras, official Navy photographers, and others, maybe intelligence officers, maybe scientists, all staring at her. Maya looked at the ground. Admiral Morgan knelt down, making eye contact. We need your help, Maya. That AUV, we call it Guardian, was designed to patrol Pacific deep waters autonomously. Its AI was trained on whale sounds to avoid detection. 6 months ago, it stopped responding to our commands. We thought we'd lost it. Then it started investigating surface ships. Your parents weren't the first victims. Maya's voice broke. You knew it was killing people? We knew something was wrong. We didn't know what. Every attempt to find it failed. But you found it. You communicated with it. You're the only person who successfully interacted with Guardian since it went rogue. What do you want from me? Help us stop it permanently, before it kills anyone else. Maya looked up at the Admiral, at the 30 vehicles, at the F-22s taxiing past in the background. What happens to me after? Admiral Morgan's face softened. We'll make sure you're safe. You have family in San Diego. An aunt. We'll arrange for you to live with her. Normal life. School. But we'd like you to work with us as a consultant. Teach our people what you know. Help us understand the ocean the way you do. Maya thought about her parents, about the recording of their last moments, about the thing that was still out there. Okay, I'll help. But I have one condition. What is it? After this, you shut down all autonomous combat AI programs. No more machines that can kill without human control. Admiral Morgan met her eyes. I can't promise that. The decision isn't mine alone. But I will fight for it. Maya nodded. Then let's hunt it. 3 days later, Maya stood in the control center of USS Michael Monsoor, a Zumwalt-class destroyer, the most advanced warship in the U.S. Navy. The ship was cutting through Pacific waves at 25 knots, heading toward the Mariana Trench. She was wearing a borrowed Navy uniform, child size. They'd had to special order it because nothing in the regular inventory fit a 12-year-old. Around her, acoustic operators watching sonar screens, weapons officers preparing torpedo targeting, the ship's captain coordinating with aircraft, and Admiral Morgan watching everything. Guardian's last known position was here, an operator said, pointing at a display. 6,000 meters depth, moving northeast at about 20 knots. Maya studied the waterfall display, a visualization of underwater sounds at different frequencies. It looked like colorful chaos to most people. To Maya, it was language. It's hunting, she said quietly. The captain asked. Hunting for what? Anything that sounds interesting. Biological signals. Unusual sound patterns. It was programmed to investigate strange things. That's all it knows how to do. Admiral Morgan asked, Can you communicate with it again? Lead it to a position where we can destroy it? Maya hesitated. It's not evil. It's just broken. Its programming tells it to investigate. It doesn't understand that it's killing people. I know, the Admiral said gently, but we can't fix it. The AI is corrupted beyond repair. Our programmers tried sending shutdown commands, tried uploading new software. Guardian security won't accept outside input anymore. All we can do is destroy it before it kills again. Maya looked at the display showing Guardian's position, the thing that killed her parents, that killed fishing crews and research teams, That nearly killed her and everyone on the sea. 130. Okay, I'll help. For 6 hours, Maya used the destroyer's acoustic systems to send signals into the deep ocean. Whale distress calls, ship engine sounds, biological anomalies, everything designed to make Guardian curious, and Guardian followed, rising from 6,000 meters, 5,000 meters, 4,000 meters. Maya watched the sonar display like a chess player studying a board. Every move calculated, every signal timed precisely. It's working, an operator said. Contact is ascending. Course steady. 3,000 meters, 2,000 meters, the weapons officer announced. Torpedoes armed, targeting solution locked. Admiral Morgan stood behind Maya. This is it. Once we fire, there's no going back. Maya stared at the screen. Guardian was less than a mile away now, rising toward the surface, curious about the strange sounds this destroyer was making. It didn't know it was about to die. Her parents hadn't known either. Fire, Maya whispered. 2 Mk.54 torpedoes launched from the destroyer's launch tubes. They hit the water, activated, and started pinging with active sonar. Guardian detected them immediately. The acoustic signature changed. Maybe confusion. The AI trying to identify these new contacts. The torpedoes closed in. Guardian tried to escape, diving, accelerating. But it wasn't designed for combat. It was designed for quiet reconnaissance. Both torpedoes hit. Explosions at 1,200 meters depth. The sonar display showed Guardian's signature breaking apart. Pieces sinking into darkness. Then silence. Maya closed her eyes. It's done. Admiral Morgan placed a hand on Maya's shoulder. You did the right thing. Maya didn't respond. She was thinking about Guardian. Somewhere in the dark water below, pieces of it were sinking to the ocean floor. Back to the deep trenches where it had hunted. It wasn't a monster, it was just a machine following broken instructions, like a guard dog that doesn't understand it's hurting the people it's supposed to protect. Permission to leave the CIC, Admiral, Maya said quietly. Granted. Maya walked out onto the destroyer's deck. The sun was setting over the Pacific, painting the sky orange and red, the same colors as the survival blanket they'd wrapped her in after pulling her from the life raft. She pulled out her phone. It was waterproof. Her father had insisted on that. Living on a yacht, he'd said, everything needs to be waterproof. Found the one labeled Parents, Final Recording. She'd listened to it once, the day after the Coast Guard rescued her. She hadn't been able to listen since. Now she pressed play. Static. Water sounds. Then her mother's voice, calm, despite everything. Maya, if you're hearing this, it means we didn't make it. But you did. And that's what matters. Her father's voice in the background. We're so proud of you, sweetheart. Her mother again. Everything we taught you about the ocean, about sound, about listening, you use that. You help people. You make the ocean safer. That's our legacy. Not the research papers, not the discoveries. You. Her father. The ocean has secrets, Maya. Beautiful secrets and dangerous ones. You're the only person we've ever met who can hear them both. Don't be afraid of that gift. Her mother's voice was breaking now. We love you so much. Never forget that. And Maya, the recording cut off. Water rushing in. Metal groaning. Then silence. Maya wiped her eyes, looked out at the darkening ocean. I got it, Mom, she whispered. I got the thing that hurt you. It won't hurt anyone else. The ocean didn't answer. It never did. But Maya felt something shift inside her. Not closure. She'd never have that. But something else. Purpose. Her parents died studying the ocean's mysteries. She would live solving them. Maya lived with her Aunt Carmen in San Diego now. Small apartment near the harbor with a view of the bay if you leaned out the window far enough. Carmen was her mother's younger sister. An accountant, practical, kind, completely unprepared to raise a 12-year-old girl who'd been living on a yacht her entire life and who'd just helped the Navy destroy a rogue AI. The first week was hard. Carmen kept trying to have talks about feelings and grief and trauma. Maya kept pretending to sleep. The second week was worse. School started. Normal middle school. Kids talking about TikTok and sports and crushes. Nobody talking about acoustic signatures or submarine propulsion systems or what it feels like to record your parents drowning. Maya sat in the back of every class and said nothing. But the third week got better, because that's when Admiral Morgan called. Maya, we'd like you to come to the Naval Information Warfare Center once a week. Consultant position. You'd teach our acoustic operators what you know. We'll pay you standard consultant rate, which is very good. And it's only 1 day a week, so it won't interfere with school. Maya didn't care about the money, she cared about the work. She said yes. Today was her 6th session at the Warfare Center. She went to normal middle school from Monday to Thursday, and every Friday she went to work at a classified Navy facility teaching sonar operators twice her age how to hear the ocean. It was the weirdest life imaginable, and somehow it worked. She was in a small training room with a young sonar technician named Petty Officer James Rodriguez, 22 years old, fresh out of training, eager to learn. Okay, Maya said, pulling up a sonar recording on the display screen. What do you hear? Rodriguez put on headphones, listened for 30 seconds. Container ship, diesel engines, single screw propeller, moving at about 12 knots? Good. What else? He listened more carefully. There's something else. Faint. Another vessel? What kind? I don't know. The signature is really quiet. Maya smiled. That's because it's not a ship. It's a submarine. Virginia class. Based on the reactor cooling pump frequency. It's running silent, staying in the container ship's acoustic shadow to avoid detection. Rodriguez's eyes went wide. I can barely hear it. How did you? Most operators focus on the loud signals, but the interesting stuff is always quiet, hiding underneath the noise. She pulled up another recording. Try this one. Rodriguez listened, frowned. This is weird. It sounds biological, like whale calls, but the pattern is too regular, too structured. Exactly. That's Guardian, the AUV that killed my parents. It was designed to mimic whale sounds to hide from detection. But if you know what to listen for, you can tell it's artificial. The timing is too precise. Real whales have variation. Guardian didn't. How did you learn all this? You're just a kid. Maya looked at the sound pattern display. Colorful lines showing frequencies and amplitudes, invisible to most people, crystal clear to her. My parents taught me that the ocean talks. You just have to learn its language, and once you do, you realize there's more life down there than we can imagine, more mysteries, more things we don't understand, like Guardian. Guardian was human technology that went wrong. But there are other things down there. Natural things, ancient things, things that don't want to be found. Rodriguez leaned forward with interest. You think you'll find them? Maya smiled slightly. I already have, and someday, when you're ready, I'll teach you to hear them too. After the session, Rodriguez walked her out. Maya, can I ask you something personal? Sure. How do you deal with it? Knowing what happened to your parents? Teaching us to track the same kind of thing that killed them? Maya stopped walking. Thought about it. I think about what my mom would say. She'd tell me that knowledge isn't dangerous. Ignorance is dangerous. The more we understand the ocean, the safer everyone is. So I'm making the ocean safer. That's how I deal with it. Rodriguez nodded slowly. That's pretty wise for a 12-year-old. I'm a weird 12-year-old. Yeah, he said with a smile. You really are. That night, Maya sat in her aunt's apartment. The window was open. She could hear harbor sounds, container ships, tugboats, Coast Guard cutters moving through the water. Her laptop was open. Maritime forums. She hadn't posted a shark since the Guardian incident. But tonight, she uploaded something new. A recording. Not from Guardian. Something else. Something she'd detected during the hunt but hadn't told anyone about. Deep, biological, massive, moving through the Mariana Trench at depths where nothing should be able to survive. The post was simple. Unknown biological contact. 7,000 meters depth. Estimated 15 meters long. Sound signature doesn't match any known species. Recorded March 2026. Has anyone else heard this? Shark. She clicked submit. Then closed the laptop and went to bed, because call signs don't retire, they evolve. And shark was just getting started. 3 weeks after Maya's post, a marine biologist in New Zealand responded, "I've heard this sound, twice. Once near the Kermadec Trench, once near the Tonga Trench. Always deep, always moving. I thought I was imagining it, Doctor." Sarah Chen, then a Navy acoustic analyst, posted, "Classified data show similar signature detected in 2023 near the Aleutian Trench. Investigation was inconclusive." Anonymous. Then a commercial fishing boat captain. "We heard this last year. Scared my whole crew. Something that big, that deep, we don't know what's down there." Captain Torres, F/V Maria Rosa. "She wasn't crazy. There was something down there, something nobody had documented, something the ocean had kept secret for who knows how long, and Maya knew, with complete certainty, that someday she was going to find it. Not today, not tomorrow, but someday. Because that's what shark does. She listens. She tracks. She finds things others can't." 2 months later, Maya received an encrypted email. The sender was listed as Anonymous, ONR, Office of Naval Research. The message was short. "Shark, we've been monitoring your recent posts. The biological contact you detected near Mariana Trench has been confirmed by 3 other sources. We're organizing a deep-sea research expedition. Manned submersible. Maximum depth, 11,000 meters. We want you as acoustic consultant. You'd be the youngest person ever to dive that deep. Expedition launches in 6 months. Your aunt has already given permission. Are you interested?" Dr. James Walsh, Deep Sea Research Division. Maya stared at the email for a long time. Her parents had spent their whole lives studying the ocean. They'd taught her everything they knew. They'd died trying to understand something the ocean was hiding. She typed one word, "Yes." Then she added, "But I'm bringing my own equipment. And I'm recording everything. Whatever's down there, the world deserves to know about it." The response came 30 seconds later. "Agreed. Welcome to the team, Shark. Training begins next month. Prepare for the deepest dive in human history." She walked to the window and looked out at the Pacific Ocean, dark and vast under the night sky. Somewhere out there, in water so deep that sunlight had never touched it, something was waiting, something ancient, something unknown. And Maya was going to find it, because call signs don't just identify you, they define you. And shark hunts in the deepest waters.